Step one is to unpack the oil evacuator. I will call it an extractor because it's easier to say. In the box, you should have a manual, the extractor itself, one large diameter hose, and two smaller diameter hoses. Next, take the extractor out to your vehicle, locate and remove the oil cap as well as the oil dipstick. On my BMW, that's the oil cap and the dipstick is over there or right there next to your airbox. The next step is to set up the oil extractor. Push the largest diameter hose into the opening at the top of the extractor. Once it's pushed in correctly, you should not be able to pull it out without depressing that blue ring. Next, determine which of these two smaller diameter hoses fit into your oil dipstick. Once you've selected the right one, go ahead and attach it to the larger diameter hose. Close the top valve so that no air can go in and out, and then on the side, ensure that the button is pressed to evacuate instead of dispense. Evacuate, suck it up. Dispense is put it into the car. Go ahead and give it about 10 to 15 pumps, and you'll see that oil begins to come out of the engine. At this point, the suction should remain through most of it, but you may have to give it a couple pumps intermittently. While the oil is draining, this is an excellent time to kill two birds with one stone and change your oil filter. On the E46, it's a 36 millimeter socket that will remove the cap for the oil filter housing and gain you access to your oil filter. This is just to show you that oil continues to fill up as you go. Take out the old oil filter and dispose of it properly, and then go ahead and insert the new oil filter, making sure to change the O-ring at the top. So that's what I'm doing now. Lube the O-ring up a little bit, push it on, push on the new filter, and then do not completely screw it in yet. You want to be able to have the vacuum free flow all of the oil out. This is a time lapse of probably 3 minutes or so as we get to the end. The closer you get to the end, you'll start to see a suction and a vibration through the hose, as you might be able to see in the video here, almost like you're sucking through a straw and not getting anything. At that point, kind of wiggle the hose and ensure that it's at the bottom of the drain pan, and try to suck up as much as you can. You're basically at the end of the process though. So you can see here I'm getting just the last little bits of oil out. I'll give it some pumps to ensure that I can suck them out in a timely manner. Once I'm pretty sure that I've gotten most of it out, I take the smaller diameter hose out of the dipstick tube and I wrap it and shove it into after opening the top valve, shove it into the Mityvac to drain. So it either goes in that way or that way. While the Mityvac hose is draining, go ahead and install your oil filter and then add new oil. Again, these will differ for different vehicles, but for the E46, go ahead and install the oil filter. It's 18 foot-pounds. And then pour in the new oil. Again, you want to put in roughly what you took out, so 6.5 quarts for the E46 engine. I think I got just about a little over 6 quarts out, so that's what I'm going to put back in. When you're done, clean everything up, double check your dipstick, and dispose of the oil that you've collected in the Mityvac properly. I learned recently that a lot of advanced auto parts or auto zones have an oil disposal area where you can pour it off for free, and the Mityvac has a really nice pour spout for that. Overall, I really enjoyed this product, and ultimately I would buy it again. Not needing to jack up a car and having a really clean oil change is awesome. It's also useful for multiple vehicles, and overall is just effective at what it says it does. However, there are a few drawbacks. The first drawback is, of course, the price. Unless you're doing a lot of your own oil changes, your cost per use is just not going to be there. It also takes a little getting used to get the hose into the bottom of the pan, and you never get out all of your oil like you do from a below the car removal. Lastly, and I know that this is going to sound dumb and or counterintuitive, generally when you change your oil from underneath, you have the ability to kind of look over your car and see what's going on, what might be kind of failing, what might be going wrong, and you don't have that ability with this product. That being said, this product absolutely has its place. I love mine, and if it broke, I would buy another one tomorrow.